So I just got home and today noticed I had a little issue with the Jeep. My check engine light came on. Now for some of you Jeepers out there, you might just kind of chalk it up to, it's just a Jeep, that's what it does. Not my Jeep. Nope, I'm a little OCD when it comes to the Christmas tree dashboard, and my Jeep doesn't come on, and when it does, I take care of it immediately. So I ran a little JScan code and it came up with P0369, I believe, which relates to the camshaft sensor bank 1. So bank 1, I believe that the Jeep has 2 camshaft sensors. One's on the driver's side, one's on the passenger side. Camshaft 1 or bank 1 is on the passenger side, and bank 2 is on the driver's side. Now, that's good news in the sense that the passenger side is a lot easier to get to. Now, a couple of symptoms that I found because this check engine light, this camshaft sensor went out. The biggest issue that I found when I was highway driving 45, 50 miles an hour, it would go into limp mode. Like literally it would cap out and go 50 miles an hour. If I tried to step on the gas pedal and go anywhere else, I stepped on the gas pedal, nothing. It just went into complete limp mode and lost all power above 50 miles an hour. So we can't be having that. We're gonna jump under this hood, pull out the old camshaft sensor, throw in this new one, and it should be as simple as that. This should be a very easy fix, but you know how things go as soon as you get under the engine. Something always happens. Crossing my fingers, that's not what's gonna happen this time. Let's get under the hood, pull out this old camshaft sensor. Okay, so just to show you where this is, we are looking at bank 1, which is on the passenger side. And if you see right, look, I can stick this right here. There we go. This, get my hand out of the way. This one right here, it's got a little pin back there. Passenger side, that's going to be camshaft sensor bank 1. Bank 2 is going to be over here on the driver's side. It's a little bit more difficult to get to. Bank 1 is going to be fairly easy. So with bank 1, we're going to take our Torx. It's a T30 here. And we're just going to kind of shove it down back behind all these wires. And then there's one screw that holds it on right there. You can see it's a Torx T30. We're going to break that loose, and then on this wire harness here there is a red tab that kind of holds those things, those harnesses shut. Pop that red tab, pull the harness out, and we should be able to just grab that out, move it out, and drop the new one in. So let's get that thing out and get ready to put the new one in. It wasn't even on. Well, it wasn't that difficult to loosen it up. I mean, it was pretty easy to break that loose. Okay, so once you got it unscrewed, you should be able to just grab it and kind of wiggle it back and forth, and it will come out. I've still got the wire attached to this. I couldn't get my hand down in there, but maybe we can actually get the wire unplugged once we get it out. I can feel it coming loose. There it goes. Just need a little persuasion. So now we have it out. Let's see if we can get our thing unplugged. I finally got it off. It was super easy to take out of the engine, but that clip, the plug, did not want to give loose very easily. So finally got it off. Here's what the old one looks like. We're going to throw in the new one. I drove to my local auto parts store earlier and picked up this one. I think the part number SU14276. Should be super easy to put back in. Should be. There you go. They look exactly the same. Everything about them, 4 pins. So let's just slide the new one back in. So just like taking it out, I'm going to start by just plugging it back up in here. First, that's plugged in. And now we're just going to take it and drop it back into that hole there. Wiggle it around and find its way in. There it goes. And just seat it in. Make sure it's on straight. And now we can start to hand tighten our screw, just to make sure we have a good grab on it. All right, let's take our Torx and tighten it down. And there you go. Super easy to put right back in. Just as easy as it was to take out. We're just going to connect our battery back and clear the codes. So that's it. We spent about 30 minutes today fixing this check engine problem. This problem cost me about $38. Had I taken it to an actual mechanic, it would have been upwards of $375 to $400 for you to fix this problem. So if you guys are having a P0369 issue, this is a relatively inexpensive and easy fix for you. We all drive Jeeps and they're going to have problems, but fortunately, they're the easiest and probably the least expensive car to work on because you can do it all yourself. So like and subscribe to Road Rash Off-Road. If you're having any other issues with your Jeep, I might have had that issue too, and you can go back and watch any of those videos of my DIY fix-its. So like and subscribe, share it with your friends. See you in the next video.